I was just on Amazon Live earlier today, right? So I just want to let you know it's a brand new cooking show, medical medium cooking show. And so what's so different about the medical medium cooking show to where I do here on YouTube or anything else, right? Is I'm just focusing on the cooking tips and the cooking and stuff like that. I'm focusing on that. Tips you won't hear anywhere else. Tips that I only share with my family and friends. Now, I don't even know if I should share really with my friends. It's just family. I have hundreds and hundreds of tips no one's ever even heard. And you may hear one of those tips out of 100 be like, I think I've heard that before. Yeah, but you haven't. It's all tips you haven't heard. And I was just on the Amazon Live cooking show, okay? Check out the link in the description. So check it out, you guys. Telegram, check out the link in the description, right? YouTube, check out the link in the description. Rumble, check out the link in the description, right? TikTok, check out the link in the description, because I was on the Amazon Live show, meaning the Medical Medium Cooking Show, which is my new show I'm doing once a week on there. It's really cool because I'm going to show you all kinds of different things, like things I use and pans and pots and anything else and different, things, products, whatever. They, that are not expensive, that are on Amazon or whatever. You're going to see me do different things, but the cooking tips too, which is really cool and really fun. So I'm not going to be talking about a lot of health stuff like I do on YouTube, where I talk about the protocols and dosages and diseases and symptoms, conditions, but instead on the Amazon Live show, I'm going to be talking about all those little cooking tips, man, stuff that make your life better, improve your life better on a different level, things I don't even share outside of my own family when I'm cooking for my family and everything. And I say, hey, this and that, and I'll cover a couple of tips now, which is really cool. You just watched, Maria? You said, yeah, I just watched. I love the mushroom tip. Really cool. Really cool. What I just made was something out of the Medical Medium Cleanse to Heal book right here. So it's the mini pizza. That's what I made, the mini pizzas. Just showing you guys what I made earlier on the cooking show, which is really cool, right? Okay. These are the pizzas right here. These are what I made. And I'm talking about why they're so good. I'm talking about all these different things about it, like how to make them and all that, which is really fun. But honestly, in that Amazon Live cooking show episode, I don't know, there was a bunch of different tips. Whole bunch. You love the onion tip, Marissa says. So cool. Did you guys, any of you other guys see the tips that I was talking about on there? I'm going to share a couple of them with you here, just to kind of like let you guys know what I was doing. But I'm only going to be sharing all these tips though in the future on the cooking show over there, right? But I still, but just know this is this is the channel that we talk about like conditions and symptoms and everything. That channel we're talking about cooking stuff. So, okay. And it's the first Amazon Live I did, the first Medical Medium Cooking Show Amazon Live I did, which was really fun. I just wanted everybody to know this stuff. You love Maria says she loved the mushroom tip. Awesome. I'll give you guys the mushroom tip. That's an important one right there. Miranda says it was so awesome. Oh, I'm so glad you were there. That's so cool. The link of the show is in the description, just so you know. So it's the Amazon Live that I just did. It's the Medical Medium Cooking Show. The link is in the description, so make sure you guys know. Make sure you subscribe to that so you can be there for those lives. You don't want to miss it. Mike says, how do you access the Amazon channel? Please, link is in the description. Check it out so you know how to sign up to my channel, because, yeah, it's going to be really cool. And I talked about out there how there's all these chefs out there in the world. There's all these great cooks and chefs. There's all these different shows and everything, but they don't know these tips. They just don't, because these tips come from above. You guys know they come from SOC, so it's really cool. I'm going to give you lots of tips about every single fruit and vegetable and herb and spice and leafy green and wild food, right? That, hey, that you can't find anywhere else. That's going to be fun. I wanted to give you guys something more. It's like, what can I do to give you guys something more? We talk about diseases and symptoms, conditions, and how to heal and critical information all the time. What kind of trendy traps to look out for, how to protect yourself against all the sabotage, right? We talk about all of that. What causes conditions and symptoms? You guys know medical medium information, right? But this is even extra. This is like an extra cool thing is what this is. Cold White Spring is asking, was it saved? I hope it was saved. I hope the live was saved. I think it was. So yeah, so you can watch it and catch it. Cold White Spring, you got to check it out and tell me what you think about the tips. Seriously. So let's go over that a little bit now. If you guys just came on now, just a little reminder, I made a recipe out of Cleanse to Heal right here. Okay, I made the mini pizzas, which are killer. They're killer. They're just amazing, right? The mini pizzas in Cleanse to Heal. By the way, guys, if you don't have this book, yet in your life, you got to try to get a hold of a copy when you can. And what's so cool is Amazon is 51% off, which is really cool. It's $16.99, right? Check out this book when you can, or get it free at the library. Seriously, on TikTok, if you guys, this is what I said on the live too. I said, anybody who's new, who never had this book, I'm going to give you a disclaimer right now. The disclaimer is your mind is going to be blown. Prepare. If you thought you knew a lot about health, if you thought you were seasoned, if you thought you knew everything out there, because a lot of people think that, read the book and your mind will be blown. And it'll start reversing brainwashing that's been happening to everybody all through these years. It'll start to reverse that for people so they can heal. So check out Cleanse to Heal when you get a chance. You guys on TikTok, I want to show you a couple of tips right now. I want to show you guys a couple of tips right there. Almost lost the book, but that's why we're live. So here's a tip right here about mushrooms that you guys need to know. I'd love to give you this tip, okay? So a couple of things about mushrooms that are really important, okay? The bottom of the stem, if you see any green at the bottom of the stem, you don't want that. Whole box of mushrooms needs to be tossed out. That's one thing right there. Here's a tip that's really good. If the mushroom's pitted a little bit, if it's pitted at all, like you're starting to pit in different spots, you see where it's pitting a little bit and you're getting too much color change, it's oxidizing. You don't want to use that mushroom. Pick another mushroom. That mushroom's oxidizing. That means the cells in the mushroom are dying rapidly and creating a toxin. So a toxin's being created. So I'm just giving you a little bit more on that, the whole pitted thing. That's a tip all on its own right there. That's really important. Two, another thing, you want to know how fresh your mushroom is? You just look at the bottom of the stem and you see how beat up or shot at the very bottom of the stem is, right? That's another tip too. And some of these tips, I have shown people throughout the years. Some of them I haven't shown. It's important to know, right? So another tip too is people are just worried about if the mushroom's wet and slimy, right? What if the mushroom's wet? So that's something people know about that. Don't have a slimy mushroom. Don't work with the slimy mushroom, okay? But keep in mind though, that's not the big issue. You can wash that slime off. The big issue is if it's pitting. That is the key. It's not the mushroom being slimy on top that you can wash off with hot water. Another tip too, wash your mushrooms off with hot water. That's another tip. Wash them off with hot water. That's a key. That's an important key right there. Because here's why. Because if there's any bacteria on the mushroom at all, cold water is not going to cover it. It's not going to take care of it. Because people chop them up, they throw them in their salads, they throw their portobellos in their salads, right, you guys? And if you just wash your mushrooms off with cool water, that's not going to be enough. You could easily get some bacteria that was in the manure, like some E. coli or anything that's on the mushroom. So you want to wash with hot water coming out of the sink. So you've got the hot water coming down in the sink and you're washing your mushrooms, you wash them in hot water. That's important. It doesn't have to be scalding hot. Lorraine Elsa's great tips. It doesn't have to be scalding hot because you can get some bacteria. I'm just going to give you guys a whole bunch of mushroom tips real quick and maybe some onion tips that I shared on Amazon Live. If you guys just got on here in TikTok, if you guys just got on here, Telegram, if you guys just got on here, I just did the new cooking show on Amazon Live. The link is in the description just so you know where to sign up because you don't want to miss those cooking shows, those cooking episodes. You don't want to miss those. You're going to miss out because there's stuff I'm going to share in the food realm, in the cooking tips realm, no one's ever heard before in their lives. No special chef, no amazing chef, no professional chef, no cooking show out there is going to have those tips. I'm just giving you guys the forewarning. So, and that's important to know. So we'll go over them real quick again, right? The pitted stuff. The pitted on the mushroom means the mushroom's getting toxic because the mushroom's oxidizing. And when mushroom oxidizes, it's more toxic than something else oxidizing. Important tip. If you're going to wash your mushrooms, you wash them with the hot water. You guys, I just did an Amazon Live just a little while ago, an hour ago, whatever, an Amazon Live. That's the new cooking show. It's on Amazon Live. I'm still gonna be doing YouTubes talking about diseases, symptoms, conditions. I'm still gonna be here on Telegram talking about diseases, symptoms, and conditions, talking about protocols and healing and everything else. And, making some stuff here and there. But the cooking show, I started this new cooking show and I'm trying to fill you in on it. It was on Amazon Live today. Subscribe. The link is in the description, just so you know. I want you guys to know. And in that cooking show, I'm going to be sharing tips that you can't find anywhere. You can't Google the tip. You can't go and find the tip. And you know what? I always say when I'm watching somebody cooking or something, cooking show or anything, I always say, hey, wait a minute. Why don't you tell them about that tip? I know. And then I realize, of course, they don't know it. Best chefs in the world don't know the tip. That's why they don't tell anybody. So it's important to know this stuff, right? So I just gave you a couple mushroom tips. One is wash them in hot water. That's how you can get the food poisoning if you don't wash them in hot water with mushrooms. Manure gets trapped in there and it doesn't come out, so the hot water can really shock and kill E. coli or anything like that. That's important. The other thing is the pits in the mushrooms means it's oxidizing, and mushrooms are more toxic when they oxidize than other foods. So that's just some mushroom tips off the running right there, okay? So we cover that. Boom. If you guys want to know, I just made the potato mini pizzas, and I want to show you right there on TikTok. I want to show you here. Yes? Show you on Telegram, Rumble. Potato mini pizzas. Awesome. They're really good. I ate 2 of them in between or during the whole thing. So I want to give you some zucchini tips. Now, some of the medical medium community people, right? Some of you guys know, I've always said this all the time. Why do I have missing pieces in my zucchini? Why is there missing pieces? Okay? There's missing pieces because I cut them out. The reason why I cut them out is because it happens to almost everybody out there. Very few people escape this. There's bacteria in the spots people's nails have scratched. The skin on zucchini is really thin. When you're in the grocery store, everybody touches zucchini and their nails go in there. And that's it. Boom, their nails go in there. And they usually even take divots away like that. You'll see it in the store. All the zucchinis have these things going in them. And basically that's incubated bacteria and viruses from people's hands in the grocery store. They're touching the shopping carts. Their hands are loaded with bad bacteria and viruses. And what do? They go and they grab the zucchinis and their nails just go into the zucchinis and they're pawing through them. And all the zucchinis get all eaten up like that. So what you do is you find those spots and you cut them out. Especially if you're going to eat those raw. If you wash them really good to eat them raw, it's not going to help. You want to wash them good, but it's not going to help. Because the fingernail went in through the skin and put it underneath. So you can wash them all you want. It's not going to help. You got to cut those spots out. That's a tip right there I talked about. Right there. Give you another tip. Let's talk about the onion a little bit. Let's do that. All right, so we have an onion here. Talk onion. A little bit of the onion talk going on, right? So let's go here. If you guys just came on here, I'm talking about never before heard tips, medical medium, on the Medical Medium Cooking Show that's on Amazon Live. I just did it an hour ago. I'm doing it once a week, somewhere around like once a week, the cooking show on Amazon. I'm going to be cooking and making food, raw food, cooked food, all of it. But I'm going to be sharing tips you never heard anywhere, anyhow. Private tips. I haven't had even time to actually share with anybody because I'm so busy fighting all, the disease, the illness, the chronic illness out there, and writing the books for all that, right? So let's talk about the zucchini a little bit more. So I have a zucchini in my hand right here, okay? Now, what you'll notice is the flower, you have the stem part where the zucchini actually breaks off the plant. Okay, you guys? It breaks off the plant. Now, I cut that stem part off because it's hard. It was getting hard, and I cut it off. Now, if you have a zucchini that's young enough, tender enough, you can cook that stem. It'll be nice and juicy and good. But here's the thing. It's the butt. You want to cut off the butt because that little piece right there gets really hard. And people with teeth problems, even if they have strong teeth or think they have strong teeth, people with teeth problems actually bite into that And now they lose a filling, they lose a cap, they mess up a tooth, they crack a tooth. It's kind of like the olive pit syndrome I talk about. You're biting an olive and boom, there was a pit in there, and now you're totally bad off, right? So you want to cut that hard butt off because that's where the flour was, and it hardens. Sometimes it hardens like a stone. And people always mess up their teeth because of that little tiny button on the back of the zucchini right there. So that's a cool tip right there that could actually save you a big hassle. Boom, it came off. That's it right there. Okay, took that off. So that's a zucchini tip that, but I did a lot more tips. Like I can't cover them all right now, but let me give you some onion tip here. Jess, and to think that chefs on TV and various other sources always say you only need to wipe mushrooms with a damp cloth. I never paid attention. I always washed mine, but I didn't know about using hot water. Thank you, Jess. You can watch any cooking show. I don't care if it's an amateur cooking show, a totally pro cooking show that's on the TV. The chefs don't know these tips. They don't know any of them. And that's what's really cool, right? It's not because I'm a special person. It's the same way the alternative health movement, conventional health movement, doesn't know any of this. That's healed people, millions of people worldwide. The Medical Medium book series. It comes from above. It comes from SOC. It's not because I'm special. That's why you'll get all these tips, and you'll also get life-saving information in the books. If you guys on TikTok don't have the book, forewarning, I'm just going to tell you right now, okay? Disclaimer. If you're somebody that thinks you knew a lot about health, right? And you're out there on the scene or whatever it is, when you start reading this, be prepared to have your mind blown. So that's the disclaimer. Blown. So just keep that in mind. Caroline, learn something from you every time I watch you. Thank you. I'm honored you're here. Incredible. Let's cover another tip. You guys, we're live right now. Telegram, live on YouTube. Live on Rumble, live on TikTok. I'm excited about this. Let's talk about the onion. That's where I was heading earlier, okay? And go watch the Amazon Live when you get a chance. Watch the Amazon Live. All the tips I'm giving you now are tips I was doing there and going to be doing a lot more. The link is in the description. You guys, I want you to catch me on all the channels. I'm doing this Amazon Live cooking show once a week because I want to give you guys even more stuff in your life, more things in your life. More tips, more answers, more everything with that. So it's important. So let's talk about the onion a little bit. So you got the onion right here, okay? So sweetest part of the onion, which nobody knows, is closer to the top of the onion where the onion was growing, meaning where the onion was sprouting out. That's the sweetest spot. So when you pull the onion out of the ground, right? When you pull it out by the green tops, okay, right? And they cut the green tops off, and then this seals right here. That's the sweet part of the onion. It's closer here. So the worst part of the onion, the most bitter part of the onion, is the bottom where the roots were. The bottom where the roots were. That's the more astringent, not so sweet, not so tasty part of the onion is. Keep that in mind. You can use the whole onion without a doubt. You can use the whole onion, right? So here I am. I'm cutting this part off. You can use the whole onion. Nothing wrong with that. And here's the top of the onion right here that I'm cutting off. Okay? So here's the next thing to know. I mean, first of all, I was talking about right there. Now, the best part of the onion to work off of, the best, because you might be making food for family, friends. You might be making food for people, right? And the best part of the onion to work off of in the meals is off the top side, going all the way down in, right? That's the tastiest part. Because someone may be like, yeah, okay, you made me a salad, but it wasn't that tasty, or it was okay, or I'm sensitive with onions. I like onions, but I'm a little sensitive with onions sometimes. And what's really happening too is they're getting the worst part of the onion in their food. So that's important to know right there. I'm peeling back the onion a little bit. So the best part of the onion is that top part. Another little tip too. Anytime you see anything brown in the onion, toss the whole onion. Don't risk it. Because the onion's going bad. Going bad. Rotten onion is the worst. It can destroy a whole meal, and I talked about that tip all on its own. But you don't know it's rotten. It looks good, but it has a little brown spot, or it has one ring. One ring is getting brown in there after you cut it. One ring. The other rings look good, but one ring's getting bad. Toss the onion. Don't even save it. It can ruin an entire meal for the family you're making it for, whatever. A couple of little tips on the onion right there. I gave some basil tips. Check out Amazon Live for the basil tip, which is really cool. So when you get a chance, check out when you go to Amazon Live, link is in the description. I'm not trying to send you guys to a new platform. That's not it. I'm sending you guys to the Medical Medium Cooking Show, which I'm doing once a week. It is a new platform, but the point is, it's to send you guys to the cooking show to offer you all this information, and that's really what it is. I mean, that's what I'm always saying. Hey, go to Rumble because I want you guys to hear things I can't say at other places. You know, so I want you to go to Rumble. I want you guys to go to Telegram so you can hear my exclusive messages, right? I want you to go to Amazon Live, right, to hear my cooking show because I'm going to talk about tips I've never talked about anywhere else. And I'm going to talk about things I use in the kitchen too. It's not just the tips. Like what towels do I use, right? What mashers do I use, right? I was using a masher over here for the mashed potatoes, right? What strainer do I use? Whatever. What tomato paste do I use right here, right? All of it. Margie says, I have your book, Cleanse to Heal. I went vegan September 6th, following a lot of your advice in this book. So you went medical medium vegan or vegan before that. I'm down 11 pounds and feel wonderful. I've been around a lot of very ill people, and I'm feeling that my immunity must be great now. Thank you, Margie. That's incredible. Going vegan doesn't mean medical medium unless it's information about it. Incredible. But following a lot of my advice in the book, it went down. You lost the 11 pounds. Incredible. So you were vegan, then you followed advice in the book, and you lost 11 pounds, right? I tell people if you're plant-based or vegan, are you medical medium plant-based or vegan? And I tell people who are animal protein, are you medical medium animal protein, right? So, and because all the details matter so that someone who's sick as a vegan can get better. Someone who's sick as plant-based can get better. Someone who's sick who's animal-based can get better. Incredible. I'm so proud of you. You lost 11 pounds. It's amazing. So you guys, do you have to pay to watch Amazon Live? Tanya, you don't. You don't have to pay to watch medical medium. I'm not going to start doing that. I'm not going to start that unless something changes, but I've always kept and been consistent. You don't have to do subscription fees for medical medium websites. You don't have to do subscription fees to get the information. You don't have to pay to watch medical medium. You don't have to do a big program with medical medium in order to get his information. I give it out. 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 I don't want nothing back. I just want you to heal. I just want you to heal. I don't want anything back. I mean, your support would be amazing, but I don't want anything back. I just want you to heal. That's what I want. I want you to heal. So we're covering tips. Now listen, you guys, on the Amazon Live show I did earlier, right? I talked about a tip about basil, which is really cool. Really cool. I talked about a tip about arugula, which is critical. The arugula tip is really a good one. I'm letting you know. So I'm hoping you check that out. Go watch the Amazon Live, learn more, okay? And I'm going to IG now. Now I'm going to Instagram. I'm going to turn TikTok back on. I'm going to turn Telegram back on, but I'm going to Instagram. I'm going to let everybody on Instagram know about these tips. I'm going to let them know about the Amazon Live cooking show, the new cooking show. I'm excited, and I can't wait. I can't wait. You guys come over there or hang around. I'm going to turn TikTok, Telegram back on, and I'm going to be on IG. Hope to see you soon.